Hi everybody, welcome to Life Accounts and Growing Pains. Welcome back anybody who has been following our channel or watching our channel, and welcome any newcomers. I am so happy to have you. Please like, comment, share this video or this channel. I would certainly appreciate it. That's the only way we can get out to the community to lift everybody up, right? And to share our strategies, our thoughts, our growing pains, if you will. So I welcome you back. Last week, I did not say what we were going to talk about this week. However, I did mention we're going to talk about obstacles. Well, we've been talking about fear, right? And what that does and what that looks like, and also we've also talked about creativity and how creativity can be useful in those situations when we have obstacles that seem overwhelming, right? So we need to get creative when it comes to finding solutions. Well, today that we're going to do a hand-in-hand topic with that, right? Today our topic is strategies that help you get through hopeless situations and obstacles, because some of those things, situations and obstacles in life, they do seem hopeless, right? Because we're not fully equipped for them. So when you're not fully equipped for something, the likelihood of it seeming hopeless is really good, right? So we are here to help you get equipped or figure out strategies on how to cope, right? So today, let's dive into those, what that really means, right? Because we want you to what? Be the best you in 2022. Yep, that's our goal for you, for us, for you. Okay, let's think about these. When we think of a hopeless event that happens in our life, we have to know, or maybe we don't have to know, but it would seem like that hopeless event cannot last the rest of our life, right? Not in all situations. Yes, there's special circumstances that may seem like that. Health, for one, right? However, in most of our day-to-day obstacles, they don't last forever, right? So there are better days ahead. The future can be brighter. And I also think that's where that phrase, there's light at the end of the tunnel, comes from. So we know that those obstacles can't stick around forever. Now, but once we do face them, or those hopeless situations, it's about our perspective, how we cope with them, how we manage them, what we think of them. It's those things will help us to overcome them, right? And so help them to lower the impact on our life, and help, if we can learn ways to help them not to stumble us, trip us up, take us back 10 feet, right? If we can figure out ways to do that, then here we go, right? Okay. So let's try some strategies. Like I always say, it's always good to have a pen and paper down, pen, paper, marker, crayon, whatever it is, to take notes. Or I welcome you to rewatch the video over and over again, whatever it is your choice to do. So here we go. Try these strategies when we experience hopelessness. Let it go. What? Let it go? That is easier said than done. Absolutely, that is easier said than done. It's just like, it's not a light switch, right? So we just can't let it go. However, it says, if the outcome is inevitable, and does obsessing over it really help? Does it really help anyone? If you obsess over it, if you know you cannot change it, will it help to stress over it? I paused because I was hoping you could come to that answer with yourself, right? So, for me, it has never helped. I think it makes me have more gray hair and more, maybe more stomach aches, headaches, lack of sleep, emotional stress, lack of focus, right? If I'm stressing over something that, especially if there's no answer for it or it's inevitable, let me give you an example. And I give you this example, I believe, in one of my previous videos. But my mom was terminally ill. So it was inevitable, right, that the day will come where she takes her last breath. So what did I do in the meantime, right? What did my mom and I do in the meantime? Oh, this is what we did. Because she didn't want anything prolonging her life at the end, right? So you know what I did, or we did? We got her all dolled up. We got her hair did, her nails did, right? We got her most favorite foods. We went on a limousine ride, went on a drive, look at sightseeing. And we chose just to have fun, just because it's the obstacles or it seems hopeless and you cannot change the outcome. It doesn't mean that you can't enjoy yourself, right? And I know it kind of seems like, man, something's hopeless, and then what do you expect us to do? Just wallow in the sorrow and sadness? It's not healthy. I'm just saying it's not healthy, right? It's really not, because it can cause depression. It could cause maybe even like drug abuse or alcohol abuse, or there's a lot of different negative habits that can come out of that if you wallow in it when a situation or the end answer or the end outcome is inevitable. And if we wallow in that negativity or in that sorrow or whatever that feeling, that non-positive feeling, if we wallow in it, it can take us down. It can make us go back 10 steps. It can make us, and even for some people, I know I have PTSD, depression, anxiety, what have you. It could even cause suicidal thoughts, right? And that's something, your life is so much more than that. Your journey, you yourself, you deserve the best. You don't deserve, oh, I almost want to cry. You deserve the best, right? And so that's why I encourage you not to wallow in it. If something is inevitable, let it be inevitable, right? Sorry, I just want to cry. Okay, let's go on. So the idea of letting it go, that's what we need to do. And just kind of accept it. Even if that's radical acceptance, okay? Be like, okay, this is what it is. I cannot change it. So what can I do in this situation? Right? Okay. Purge your emotions. How do people purge their emotions? Some people work out. Some people run. Some people go visit with a friend. Right? Go have dinner with a friend. Some people have a good cry. I've even, just like, some people even, I have a punching bag downstairs at my house. Or there's been times I will just sit on my bed and scream at the top of my lungs, right? Some people read their Bible or a lot of prayer. I mean, there's all different strategies. However, whatever your strategy is, I want you to pick a healthy one, right? I don't want you to binge Netflix and just eat 3 gallons of ice cream, right? I want you to pick something healthy. Pick something healthy. If you're not much of a drinker, don't become a drinker, right? If, let's say, I hope none of you, for your health, only for your health. But I mean, if you smoke cigarettes, I wish you the best, and I wish that you didn't. But if you do, don't overdo it because of you don't know how to deal with the stress or the inevitable, right? So I just want you to pick healthy options. Not only physically healthy, but mentally healthy, okay? So if it's a run, if it's a good crying, visiting with a positive friend that can help you, even go to counseling, praying. There's a lot of different strategies and avenues you can take, right? Okay, so we need to purge our emotions. It says others feel relief after a good cry, and maybe even, and then here's, like I was saying, even having dinner with a friend will boost your mood, right? Some people even like if we're not feeling good, I'm a grandparent, right? And if I'm not feeling good, like emotionally, it helps just to have your grandkids over because they are a hoot, right? So even inviting your grandkids over, that can boost your mood, right? Even if it's 5 minutes of boosting your mood, something has to help. Just don't waller in saying, oh, everything's hopeless. Don't waller in it. It says right here. Let's try this other one. Try to learn something new. Or try to learn something, right? Because when we try to learn something, it distracts our mind. And I'm not saying don't face the inevitable. I'm not saying that. Don't face it because I don't want you to have your head in the clouds, right? However, we need to try to get our bodies and our actions moving in a positive direction. So learning something is usually something positive, right? Some people take a painting class. Some people, like my goal this year is to learn all the books of the Bible, you know? So I mean, it looks different for everybody, right? It says try to learn something. In most cases, hopelessness situations are the least particular, is partially the result of poor decisions. You're like, what? Well, I think it can be because let's see, if we made a poor choice by taking an expensive vacation more than what we can afford, now we can't, when we come back from vacation, we can't pay our house. So now we've made a poor choice, right? Or perhaps we lost too much, not to say anybody gambles, but I've seen it, right? I've seen it throughout my life, friends or what have you, they've made poor choices gambling, right? And so they lost their home or they lost something that really means a lot. And so we need we need to avoid situations like that. And usually those inevitable outcomes come from poor choices. I said there was exceptions, right? Similarly like health, right? Okay. So it says, here we go. Think about how you contributed to the situation at hand. As if your poor decision. How did you contribute? For me, I was in when I was in a domestic violence situation, yeah, it's not my fault. How that person treated me is not my fault. But for me, speaking from me and my personal experiences, I ignored a lot of red flags, my friend, right? Before all the abuse really went up a notch, there was some red flags that I was just like, and let's just play it out and see how it goes. See, that was my poor choice, right? Or it says, or maybe like our other poor choices, like if we went to the casino and we lost and then we went back and we lost and we went back and we lost. What's our poor choice? Well, I don't go to the casino, but if you did, right, what would be your poor choice? Keep going back and keep losing more than what you can afford, or taking that expensive vacation when you knew you came home and you had a house payment to make, right? So though it's just that, I mean, it is life, and we really need to take, because we're all adults, right? So we have to, oh goodness, we have to take responsibility. I know it's hard to be an adult and take a responsibility. However, it's a have to. That's something we learned when we were kids. Okay, it's our responsibility to take out the trash. If the trash don't get taken out, then it goes all over the place. The dog gets in it, right? And so we learn responsibility when we're little. Now here we are carrying it on as adults. So we need to see what our responsibility, our role in our poor choice. What was our role, right? Okay, I'm not beating you up by no means. Please don't think I'm beating you up. I'm trying to give you solutions how to overcome hopeless situations, right? that is my goal here. So if we take responsibility of what got us in this, then perhaps in the future we can avoid some of those situations again, because we have a tendency as human beings to repeat our mistakes. We have a tendency. Sure, I would love to go out to an exquisite restaurant and this and that and not pay my light bill, but then my light bill turns off. Now I'm in that outcome was inevitable. Why? Because I didn't pay my light bill. So what was my role in it? I decided to go out and enjoy myself for the evening, right? And went and spent my light bill money. Yeah, see? So, okay. We're trying to find solutions. Okay. Like, I remember I was mentioning how my mom and we went on the limousine ride and we got all dressed up all fancy, and we got to enjoy, right, the day, because even though we couldn't help the outcome, she's going to die regardless, right? So it was better than staying home and whatever, right? Poor us, pity us, right? Okay, so this one says enjoy yourself. Now might be the perfect time to visit your favorite restaurant, take a walk in a park, or see a movie with a friend. Just because life has thrown you a curveball doesn't mean you can't have a good time. Have a good laugh and forge ahead. Have a good laugh. Laughing, how many times have you heard that laughing's like medicine for the soul, right? It releases endorphins. It really does help you. There's scientific proof laughing and being happy really does help you. And then when that helps, then you're less stressed, right? And then you don't feel hopeless. Like when you're happy, you're not hopeless, right? Those are the two you can't be. It's like you can't be daylight and dark. It's either one or the other. You can't be happy and hopeless at the same time, right? Okay. So it says, when things are hopeless, life goes on. Just because my mom was dying doesn't mean I didn't need to make my house payment. It didn't mean that we needed not to talk about how she wants her funeral arrangements, right? Because life is going to march on whether we like it or not. So we need to keep up on our responsibilities. Our kids still need to be fed and bathed, right? Even though whatever hopeless situation's going on, our kids still need to be fed and bathed. Okay, so pay attention and keep up with your responsibilities. Pay attention to your responsibilities, should I say. Even when things seem hopeless, I'm telling you, these are healthy tips for you. They're very healthy. They're not for you only, but I mean for everybody. They're very healthy tips. We're being productive people. We're building ourselves up. We're keeping our eyes focused on the prize, right? The prize of getting through a situation. The prize of us being the best us in 2022, right? Okay, so keep up with your responsibilities. Avoid letting the other areas of your life suffer. We don't want to do that. We do not want to do that. Even, and I say that in all kindness, right? I have PTSD, so I understand what triggers are like. I understand what depression's like, and you're not wanting to get out of bed. You don't want to pay attention to anything that's going on around you. And even if that means your other responsibilities, even if you know you're going through a harder time, perhaps if you already take medicine, perhaps you can be like, go talk to your doctor and say, hey, in this time in my life, I'm going through something even harder. And if they need to change or adapt your medication, it's just an idea. It is just an idea. And I'm speaking from personal experience. I'm not telling you how to run your life. However, there's an option for you, right? Because we need you to get out of bed. We need you. Your family needs you. The rest of your life needs you. I understand this obstacle, whatever it is, seems hopeless. But life does not stop, my friend. It will keep trucking. it will keep trucking. And I have tears again. And I am so sorry I have tears. But I also have like flashbacks, or all sincerity, right? Because I've been through so much, and I wish I would have known what I knew now then, right? I don't think it would have been as it wouldn't have been as brutal, right? Or a crash. I call it a crash course. It wouldn't have been such a crash course, right? A school of hard knocks. They're like, what school did you come from? Oh, the school of hard knocks. I truly sometimes feel that way. It's like, whoa, nobody prepared me for this. I don't know if, and I don't want to prepare anybody for the worst. However, I'm just telling you, when certain situations seem hopeless, life still continues whether we like it or not. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. Okay, let's see. Create a plan for the future. Okay. Because remember how I said there's light at the end of the tunnel, right? Okay, so when you get there and now you see the light, now what's your plan? You need a plan. And also a plan will help you stay focused and moving forward, right? And it'll help you not to waller, not to I don't know, dive into self-pity, not to take 10 steps back, right? Okay, so create a plan for the future. Looking forward to an interesting or exciting future may be the best way to move forward. Okay, if the future seems bleak, it is hard to be happy. Allow yourself to be open to the possibilities and create a compelling future for yourself. Then take one small step towards making the future reality. How many times have I said, oh my goodness, how many times have I said, okay, small steps do matter. See, I've been saying small steps do matter, right? So then take one small step towards making that future reality. Well, here we are, right? Things seem bleak. You watching this video is a small step in finding strategies to overcome helpless situations and obstacles. Letting out your going on a run. Remember how you're supposed to purge your emotions? Is a small step, or for a walk, or this. You see, those are small steps, healthy steps. So I congratulate you already. I'm just happy for you. Okay. Let's see what the other strategies are. Make a list. Oh, here we need our pen and paper, people. Make a list of all the things that fill you with gratitude. I'm just letting you think. That's all. I was just pausing to let you think. Because when I'm just going to give this as it's an example. It's just my own little example. When you were a kid, your mom served you a plate of food, and you're like, it's gross. And then she's like, well, you need to eat it because there's people out in whatever, some kind of land that have less than you, right? So you need to be grateful for that food, because there's someone somewhere that doesn't even have that, right? So we also need to remember that when things seem hopeless, because there's people out there, believe you me, somewhere on this earth that are going through something harder, something different, or perhaps even something very similar, right? So if you can remember that point, that there's somebody out there, and be grateful for what we're in. So I want you to write down the things that you are grateful for. It's likely there are many people in the world with far more challenging circumstances. It can be easy to forget that fact. If you think about it, you have a lot of things going for you. Make a list and add to it often. Right? When I got out of my domestic violence situation, or situations plural, after it was all said and done, after over a decade, right? And it was brutal. 3 times I almost died. And no matter how brutal it is or was, right? I always thought, like, I always tried to think of something very positive during those times. And a lot of those times, or those 3 specific times where I almost died, I ended up in the hospital. And I tell you what, yeah, I was down and out, bruised, beaten, everything. Sorry to cry. But I was grateful that I didn't die, regardless of how many broken whatever, face whatever, like, to be an unrecognizable, right? I was glad I didn't die. I was grateful. And my circumstance at that time seemed so bleak, right? Hopeless. But I was grateful. I'm like, okay, here we go. You think I would learn on the first or second, but, you know, I'm a little hard-headed. That's my, I'm taking responsibility of my participation in that hopelessness, right? I avoid those situations. Oh, but I love him. Oh, but he'll change. And when I didn't just take into the consideration that I couldn't make someone change, I just had to accept the inevitable, right? You just can't make someone change. That's ridiculous. And that was a hard pill to swallow. However, the point was, sorry, went on a tangent. Woo! Went on a tangent. I'm just crying. Okay. Anyways, the point is that you think of things that you're grateful for, things that you may already have. I have, okay, here's one for you. I always had, for a while there in my life, I had vehicles that needed screwdrivers and pliers to start, right? To start. And I've had vehicles that didn't even have door handles. I've had some crazy vehicles, but you know what? I was grateful I had a vehicle. But get this. One time I got a vehicle after having, it was 3 vehicles in a row I had that had key ignition problems, right? And then finally I got this one vehicle. It was this $400 vehicle. Not only did it come with a title that matched the VIN number, which was a plus. Okay. Yes, there's a backstory there. Okay. Then, and then it actually had a key that started. Do you know how grateful I was? The car had a title and a key and it ran. You want to know how grateful I was? So grateful. However, people are, when I drove this car, people are like, hey, Andrea, can you not park in front of my house? Okay, here, let me tell you why. Because it leaks so much oil, right? But I didn't care, so I just kept a case of oil in my trunk, right? Because I'm like, I was just so grateful that I had keys and a title. I didn't care how much oil it dripped. But I really did have people are like, hey, Andrea, that car out there, yeah, my beast out there with the key and the title, but it sure does drain some, or leak some severe oil. Needless to say, it was about being grateful, right? It was just about being grateful and being that I actually had something wonderful, and recognizing that. And it helped me not to be, um, not to be, have a hopeless situation when it came to having a motor vehicle, right? Yeah, I knew I could do better eventually one of these days, right? I could have done better. However, for where I was at that time, that's the choices I made, and that's what I had, and that's just what, I don't know, that's just where I was in life, right? So here we are, needing to be grateful. Write them down. And did you hear what it says? That not only do we need to write it down, but we need to add to that list, right? So we need to add to it often, like being grateful. Start the day to think grateful. I even this is not all about sad stories today, my friends. It's not. It just, I don't know. It just kind of, I just want to share my life experiences with you, because I want you to learn different ways to overcome hopeless obstacles. But I tell you this, I also had COVID earlier in 2000, last year. I had COVID, right? Well, anyways, I did not know to be so grateful for taste buds ever. Like, because I love food. I love food. I am not picky about food. I love food. And then when I wasn't able to taste food for like 2 weeks, man, right? And so, yeah, it was like, well, it wasn't like a hopeless situation. And I had other ailments having COVID, but all I could think about is well, if all else, and I never get my taste buds back, right? I was like, well, at least I know what this tastes like, and I know what prime rib tastes like, and I know what ranch tastes like, and I know what, right, fry sauce tastes like, and stuff like that, right? Kool-Aid tastes like. So, I was just trying to think of positive things, even when I had COVID, because I was like, man, this is insane. It was insane. And I was trying, even though my body was under attack by COVID, I didn't need my mental thinking, or my mental whatever. I needed to be healthy mentally, and my thinking to be healthy mentally, right? And so all I could think about is all the things I was positive for, right? So just saying, I'm telling you, it really does help to be thinking about things that you're grateful for, right? Okay. Trying to breathe through this. Okay, let's see. Hopeless situations happen. And, oh yes, we have to understand it. When we do understand it, right? That not every situation can be saved. Yeah, we understand that. Like I was telling you about my mom, we understand not every situation can be saved. I couldn't, my previous domestic violence relationships, I understood that they could never be saved. I would never be happy in those, right? Or safe or healthy choices couldn't come out of those, right? So I just had to swallow that and just like move on. And that's okay. And it's easier said than done. And if you're in one of those situations right now, I'm rooting for you. Male or female, I am rooting for you. Okay? I truly am. I truly am. Oh, I'm crying again. Whew. Letting go and moving forward can be the best solution. Worrying has never changed the actual outcome. Isn't that true? But being prepared and being equipped, it can change that situation. So stay tuned to our next one as well, our next videos. I'm so happy that you're here. Okay. It's never changed the actual outcome of any situation. Allow yourself to enjoy life and create a future that keeps our eyes facing forward. Your situation has more hope than you know. Your situation has more hope than you know. Yeah, I believe that too. I also remember, sorry this video is probably a long one. However, our situations does have more hope than we know. I'm just definite of that. Our situations do have more hope. What also, I remember, there's like a lot of stuff I remember that I just feel like I want to share with you. I remember I had like a gun against my head, fully, a 357 Magnum, fully loaded, against my head for over 8 hours. I prayed so much, I thought God's ears were going to come off, right? I'm like, how do I get out of this? To the point I'm like, that's it. I wasn't stressing it, like, because what was the actual end of it? Okay, I'm going to be dead and that's going to be it, right? Well, at least that's what you hope, versus being a vegetable, right? Well, if for me, okay, that's just me talking. Then something wonderful happened. A knock at the door. A knock at the door is what got me out of that. So my situation had hope. Maybe it doesn't have hope that you can see right when you're in it, but there is hope. Just think about that for a while. Okay. So, what is our next topic, Andrea? Sorry, this one has been an emotional roller coaster today. Our next topic, and I hope you stay tuned. And if you're new to watching this, pardon me. The next, please subscribe if you do so. I'm usually not a emotional basket case like I am today. So just stay tuned. This is the next topic that we're going to be talking about, my friends. Believing in yourself through the toughest times. I'm going to repeat it again. Believing in yourself through the toughest times. So, in order to be the best you in 2022, what do you need to do to not only overcome obstacles, not only root out fear, right? We also need to believe in ourselves. And that also kind of goes hand in hand with that mystery topic about having confidence, right? So here we go. Next week, believing in yourself through the toughest times. I appreciate you so much. Please like, comment, share, and pardon me for being emotional basket case. However, I just want to share my story with you. I want to give you hope, encouragement. I just want the very best for you. Stay tuned for our next video, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you for watching Life Accounts and Growing Pains.